here we are. Now, I'd like to introduce you as the first English person I met in this region.
Oh, yes, that was great. You know, I love meeting new people anyway, and if you're passionate about something, then and then we love it here.
Yeah.
And so yes, and as you know, we've been here 35 years next month. So yeah.
I was just going to say you're both veterans, really, aren't you?
Yes, we came in April 1990, and on Thursday, Janine, our middle child, was 36, and she was 1 when we came. And I just think, where has it gone? Where has that time gone? But no regrets.
And do you still feel passionate about being here?
Oh, crikey.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yes.
It's just so easy to live here. And we've lived all various places all over the world, and just here is home for us. And obviously our kids are all French and grown up here, so
that's quite an endorsement, actually, that you've lived all over the place and you've settled here.
We had together we had 10 years overseas before we came here, working in Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and Brian before that was with his family in Zambia for a couple of years. So but yeah, this was that was the problem. We couldn't settle in the UK when we got back from Zimbabwe, and someone said, why don't you go and have a look at France?
My father of all
it was your
people,
dad, yeah, it was your dad. So we did.
And we did, and he came out when we first moved here. He came in and stayed with us for a few months or years.
He was with us about 6 months.
And then my brother ended up coming out here, and he's been here 30
He's been here
years.
30 years now, so they live about 20 minutes away. So, and of course, we came with a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. I then went on to have my son Louis here, and Carl and Sandra the same, haven't they? So they've got 3, but of course then that generates partners and grandchildren.
So 18 of us now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. Of just the 2 brothers and our.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So all the girls and boys are all married off, and grandchildren and things like that. And there's 18.
So it's lovely. Christmas and summertime, we always have one big family do, and then we see them a lot as well anyway. But we've populated this little bit of Lot-et-Garonne.
You have. You have.
Yeah. So it's lovely, and I remember at the time, you always worry bringing children here and taking them away from 2 sets of grandparents, but even they, now being a lot older, said they're so glad we did. They love their lives in France, and the education they had, and the opportunities they've had, and no regrets.
I was going to mention that because that's something we've barely talked about with any of the interviews, actually, but you would understand it more than any. So what's the education for children like here?
Well, yes, it's very good. I mean, I will admit at the beginning I was a little bit worried. It seemed a little bit Victorian, having come from the UK, which seemed a little bit open plan. But they were really sitting at desks, and I think they've obviously loosened up now over the years. But no, they've had a great education, and they've all gone on to be successful in their own ways. Yeah. And but we do know that there seem to be a lot of English people that may bring their children up here in France, but when they get to sort of university time, they seem to often go back to the UK.
Yeah, ours didn't.
Ours didn't. Ours carried on here. But no, when I think not only with their schooling, we've met so many obviously parents and friends through that, but then of course the activities as well. Yeah. Louis, our son, started playing rugby at age 5. Janine did judo. Lauren was doing twirling. Then they go on to do, and it's just through that you get a real taste for the life in France.
Now, it's funny you should say the life in France, because it's a very different life. I've only been here for 2 years, but it's a very different way of thinking, isn't it? It's how can I say? It's more optimised on a work-life balance than the UK.
Oh
isn't
yes,
it?
oh definitely.
And I've, just funny little things like if you have some people around, if they're doing a job for you at home,
Yeah.
building.
Yes.
Prompt, off they go for lunch, and nothing happens at lunchtime, and they have longer holidays,
Oh yes.
shorter working days.
Definitely.
It's a different way of life here,
Yes.
isn't it?
It is.
It's
Yes.
completely reverse
Yes.
to UK. You live to work in UK,
Yes.
and here
You
it's
work to live.
You work to live.
I think they've got it right actually, and I mean, I remember years ago in the UK when the trend was to stay at your desk and eat and work all through your lunchtime. Well, France have got it right, and of course it's very much family. I think that's something I really noticed in over the years. A Sunday, how lovely to see at the baker's. A family, parents and maybe teenage children buying a lovely gâteau because they're going to visit the grandparents. They're still very, I feel, nicely family orientated, and I think that's a big plus here in France for living.
And I love it because if I decide to mow the lawns or whatever, I've got to stop between 12 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any
Yeah.
strimming or anything like that.
And
That's
Sundays
right.
and
My friends, when I tell them this, they're like, "What? Why?" I said, "Well, you've just got to
I
do
think
that."
they've got their priorities right, personally. I just think they have.
You are something of a celebrity here, aren't you?
Really?
Yes. I've popped into a few places, and you're behind a microphone.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Well, I think that's going a little bit far, but
I don't think so. Everybody knows you as
yes,
a
I'm
singer
singing with a band. Yes, I've been.
she does have a voice, an actual name, and it's the voice of Aquitaine.
A lot of people call me that. Yeah.
I don't think it's anything to do with the singing.
No. So I for 12 years I sang in a choir here, and from nowhere I got approached at tennis because I played tennis as well. Someone came up and said, "Oh, I hear you sing. Are you interested in joining a band?" So I said, "Well, I hadn't ever thought of it. Oh, please just come along." So I went along and met these 4 guys, and they said, "Come on, just come and have a go." And well, just haven't looked back. Initially it was to maybe just be like a backing singer, but I now sing a lot of my own songs as well, and well, we just love it. We just love it. So yes, and so we get asked to do private parties. We've done a couple of weddings. We've done night markets, and yeah.
Things that I talk to everybody about are we talk about the health system. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good here, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yes, it's getting a little bit more difficult late in the last year or two to maybe find a specialist if you needed to see a dermatologist or a cardiologist, but it still is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I think the thing we love most is, how you go for an X-ray. Not only are you seeing someone within 2 or 3 days, you have your X-ray, you sit in the waiting room, they type up the report, you see the radiologist, they talk it through, and you go home with your notes. And I just think I can only talk for the UK, I don't know about other countries, but the anxiety people must go through waiting for A, the appointment, B, having it done, and then waiting for the results. It's just, I think, because causes a general anxiety.
The other day I went for a blood test, and then I went on to an X-ray, and I left the home at 8 o'clock. By 9:30 I was back here. And at 1 o'clock I had my blood test results, and I walked in that morning with my X-ray under my arm.
It is incredible.
It can be done.
I thought it was so funny because I had an X-ray, and they give you the copy of the X-ray, a picture of it.
Yes,
and
that's
it.
And
they said, "Well, it's your X-ray."
Yes, that's it. No, I know. No.
I didn't know what I was looking at, but it's great. Thank you very much.
And
you're right. I had blood tests.
Yes.
And within 24 hours,
yes,
I
you've
had
got the results.
the results, and they're sent automatically to the doctor.
That's it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is a fantastic.
And the other thing, I don't know if you know this, but we discovered the other day that if you have cancer treatment, that's free.
Yes. Yes, it's
And fast.
well, and not just cancer. Brian had a heart attack, as did his brother, and so they both are on, free
100%
medication,
free.
100% cover.
Anything for anything.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes, it really is.
What are the negatives then?
Oh, right.
Negatives. Well, bureaucracy, tax system. That's like any tax system anyway, I suppose. But driving, when you drive along, they are so close.
No, they are. They're
And
right.
they are taught
It's
like
almost
that.
like they're trying to get in the boot.
Yes.
And it's just...
I think they're just saving fuel because,
From the slipstream.
In slipstream, in Formula One, you get right up, if you get close enough, there is a fuel saving.
I mean, I go, Jen does, she does these flower arrangements and things like that. So we do, she does a couple of expositions.
I do 2 or 3 Christmas markets and a couple of spring markets. So we pile our van up, don't we? with these plants?
We've got a fairly large van and it's loaded up. And you can be driving along and you think, oh, there's no one on the road at all. And then all of a sudden you turn a corner and someone has been almost inside your van behind you all the time, and you just think how dangerous. Anyway, so that's one of the negatives is driving.
So overall, not that many negatives.
No, I wouldn't say no.
One of the views you've got is one of my favourite little towns. Really, is that St. Liverpool?
That's St. Liverpool. Yes.
It's one of my favourite little towns. It looks like it's been through the wars with COVID.
Yes.
And it looks like it's reopening up slowly.
Yes, bit by bit. Yeah.
But it's got my favourite little pub in it. And I assume you go down there occasionally.
Very occasionally. Every Friday, every Tuesday. Yeah. Been going there, ever since we came. It's nice to be together socially. But St. Liverpool is just an interesting place, and it's got its good bits and bad bits like anywhere. But the Friday morning market brings it alive. It really does.
Doesn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
The market I love, but then we have these things called the night markets of the night.
Yes.
What do they call them?
The marché nocturne.
The marché nocturne.
So they're fantastic, all through July and August. You could go every evening somewhere, some commune somewhere is having, and there's set nights through the 2 months, and they're amazing, especially Fongrave, where you are. It's just great. I mean, that's a really big one, and I think they can take 500, 600, 700 people.
Oh, easy.
There.
It's
huge. Huge.
I actually think it's more.
Yeah, and of course Janine, who works at the La Base Omnisport, she brings across teams of, the Olympic rowing team or the Paralympic team. They just love the fact, you go and choose your own food from whatever producer of the area. There's always live music and dancing, and just to see French and all other nationalities mixing and enjoying.
I think that about neatly wraps us up, doesn't it?
That's it from the lot.
That's your lot.
I love this.
Okay.
So I think that about wraps us up, doesn't it?
It does. That's it from the lot. That's your lot.
That's your lot.
So I think that about sort of wraps us up, doesn't it?
That's it. That's your lot.
From the lot.
Until the next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, Richard.
That wasn't
That's so wrong. We should have done it in French.
Are we? Should we try that in French?
Oh gosh, no.